Now here are the gratin potatoes. I've used about 7 to 8 Maris Pad potatoes because they're quite firm still, but they've got that nice floury texture as well. Now what I've done is I've sliced the potatoes using a mandolin, and this gives them a really nice uniform thinness. You can use a knife, but you don't quite get the same uniformity. Now what I've done with each layer is I've added salt and pepper, and when I've used all my potatoes, I'm going to add the cream, garlic, salt and pepper mixture. I'm going to cover it in foil and put it in a moderate oven, about 150 degrees C, for about an hour and a half actually. They do take quite a long time. When there's about 15 minutes left of the baking time, or if they feel soft, so if you put a fork in them they feel soft, I'm going to add some cheese on the top. I'm going to use Parmesan. It should be Gruyere, but I'm using Parmesan because that's what I've got in the fridge. And that will give it a nice sort of brown crispness. Not too much Parmesan, just a nice thin layer. But when we get to that stage, I'll show you. Hi, I'm doing duck breast with a pork and cranberry jus, green beans with toasted almonds, and potato gratin, which is already in the oven. What I've done is I've put the duck breast inside down in a moderately hot pan because I want them to crisp up quite nicely. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to take those out, put them onto this roasting tray, and put them in the oven to finish them off. They're going to be in an oven about 175 degrees C, and I'm going to keep them in there for about 20 minutes. And that will make sure that they're nicely pink in the middle, but not too red. So we'll leave those to cook and brown off. Okay, right, now they're ready to go in the oven, so I'm just going to pop them onto the roasting tin. Well, I'm going to drain the fat off once from that pan. I'll drain the fat again, and then what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the juices that are left after the fat's been drained in that pan for my sauce, or jus. So those are going to go in the oven. I'm also going to take out my dauphinoise potatoes quickly and put a very thin layer of Parmesan cheese on. So I'll pop those in, take the dauphinoise out, or not dauphinoise, they're called gratin, because there is a difference. And if you look at those, they look really nice. They need browning. Because I've had the foil on top. They're perfectly cooked through, but they'll be really nice and brown and ready really at the same time as the duck. If they're ready a bit early, I'll just pop them in the top oven, because the duck will need to rest for at least 10 minutes really after it's come out of the oven. So I'll leave that there. We'll pop this back into the oven without the foil on now, and in a minute, well, in 20 minutes or so, I'll start the jus and I'll turn the green beans on. Okay, now I'm making the jus. I've added the cranberries. I'm just going to let these sort of sweat off in what's left of the fat and juices. These are dry cranberries. Sweet cranberries would be a bit squashy, a bit too soft for this, but this adds a bite to the sauce. Now, once these have started sizzling a little bit, I'm going to add my port, and I'm going to use about 10 millilitres of port, but I'm just going to do a glug, so it might be slightly more, and it might be slightly less. I might add a bit more at the end if I need it to taste a little bit more porty. So those are sizzling a bit, so I'll add my port. I'm going to let the alcohol burn off. You can see it's already steaming away, and then once I get that to sort of a bit of a syrup, which it pretty much is, that's very quick, I'm going to add my chicken stock. It'd be great if I could get duck stock, but you can't. I'm sure you can somewhere, but I can't at the normal supermarket. So I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to let that boil and reduce down, because I want it to be fairly thick. I want it to coat the back of the spoon. I'm not going to use any thickeners. It's just going to reduce down so it's nice and thick. And then I'm going to add a knob of butter at the end. I'm going to add some pepper and some salt. Okay, and I'll have a little taste of that to see how it tastes. I think I'll probably add some more salt at the end. But hopefully it's not too sharp. Well, that's really nice. And it's going to be really tasty. It has a really nice flavour of the duck because I've used it in the sauce, in the same pan as I cooked the duck. Now I'll put the green beans on. These won't take long. Put them on high. Once they're boiling, a few minutes, and then what I'm going to do is add some olive oil and the almonds and salt and pepper, and it just sort of coats them. It's nice, very nice. Right? So I'll let that reduce. Let that boil. Okay, here are the gratin potatoes. They're cooked through really nicely. The potatoes are lovely and soft, and the top's nice and crispy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it like a cake because it's very firm and it should stay together. Okay, so here we have duck with a cranberry and port jus, gratin potatoes and green beans, fine green beans with almonds.